Hi friends, welcome to Aishudiy. Today we will design a necklace using the GGC treasure box 4th edition, and so I have here a pattern. This is the pattern I want to follow with the beads that I have available in the treasure box. So I don't have all the beads that is available. I have already made necklaces and bracelets and so forth and so on, earrings. So I don't have all the beads, but I have utilized a lot of beads and I still have more. So I'm utilizing these to make a pattern like this. This is what I was thinking of doing it. And I am going to use beading wire. You can use thread if you want to, but I plan to use beading wire. I don't plan to use thread. So if when you are using beading wire, I would suggest the more flexible beading wire possible, so that you can have a nice flow in the necklace. I'm going to use this 0.18 inch or even thinner than this. If you have 0.018 inch or thinner, you can use this. This is 19 strand. If you have 49 strand, that would be perfect. I'm going to use this bead alone 49 strand. It's a 10 feet. I'm going to use this for this necklace. So it's only 10 feet, so it's very less in a spool. But I don't understand why they have to waste this big a plastic item for just 10 foot of spool. See this, this is how much, and this is all waste. Like this area, whole area goes to waste. So I'm just not going to cut anything. First I'm going to decide a pattern. I know for sure that's what I want to do. So I want to add these beads as well. So I'm going to add this first, and then I'm going to use these white glass beads as well. These are 4mm. And this cubes also, we have these cubes left. I have this roundel, I'm saving it for some project, and these cubes are also left, so I'm going to use those as well. And the black beads, the 6mm black beads also, I'm planning to use it. Let me just snip that off and get that ready. We might not be using the entire strand, but we will be using a lot of them. So just want to make sure there is enough black beads in the pattern as well. So I am just going to sample thread. So for sample threading, what you can do is you can take a wire. This is 24 gauge copper wire. You can take a wire and see if you like the pattern, and then you can continue doing it. So if I have this, and also we need seed beads. You can use any kind of seed beads you want, whichever you have available. I'm going to use a 11 seed bead, which is going to be this right here. I think this will tie all the beads together without any problems. That's what my thought process is. So I'm going for a darker seed beads, darker color metallic seed beads. These are check glass seed beads, and iris sphinx, that's the seed bead name if you're looking for. So I don't know if this will, yeah, this is going through this. So a couple of them just to design the pattern, and then we can, when we are sure with the pattern, then we can thread onto the beading wire, or you can thread onto the beading wire and do this as well. But I thought that this would be easier to do than that. So this is one, and then a couple more. Okay. And then I want this to come like this, so this will come like this. So from here, the center, I need some dangles like this. So that is going to come like this. And from here, I need to come back down with some beads. So for this, I'm going to add a black bead right here. Okay. Then couple of beads. So you can do the same the other side as well if you want to, but I'm just doing one side. Three seed beads, 3 or 4 seed beads, and then a square crystal. Okay, and then 3 or 4 seed beads. This will come like this, and this, and then a couple more. What can I incorporate? So we need to know here. So okay, I can incorporate this right here, or we can do this in the bottom part, or we can include here. And then 3 or 4 seed beads. Okay, 3 seed beads probably, and then so it should not be a long one, right? So it should be a short one. We can so we'll design the centerpiece first. We need some wire. You can use 24 gauge wire or 20 gauge wire, whichever you have available. I'm going to use 20 gauge silver wire. That's what I have in stash, and then I have 24 gauge, but I want to not use a 24. I want to use a 20 gauge. No, I'm sorry, I want to use a 24 gauge, not the 20 gauge. I have here Aishudiy wire, tarnish resistant 24 gauge wire. I keep the spool like this. This prevents this wire. I know it's tarnish free, but still it prevents the wire to getting all flurry and stuff, and then it gets unwound and it's like a mess. So I like to keep it like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to design the center. First, I am going to cut myself say about 4 inches of wire. Okay, and then first we need the regular wire cutters, the tweezer nose or needle nose pliers, and the round nose pliers as well. So first I will take my tweezer nose pliers and then bend this wire a bit, just like that. You can also use a head pin in this case, but since I'm going to make a wrap loop, I want this. You can hold this and straighten this wire between your fingers. Run your fingers through a couple of times. It'll get straightened. So first I want to add this teardrop, which is really pretty. And I want to add the teardrop first. Okay. Followed by a seed bead probably. Okay. Just to have it on the top. Followed by a seed bead. You can also add spacer beads if you want to, but I just want to keep it simple, this design. Just add a seed bead, and then probably one of these beads if you want to, right? But before that, 3 seed beads. I think that should be good. See this this bead, so it needs something like a bicone or so to sit on top of it so that it can lay properly. Yeah, this works fine. This 4mm faceted bead also came in the box, so you don't have to get anything from your stash. And then probably 2 seed beads, and then a black bead, probably a 6mm black. Okay, and then so this dangle needs to be a little bit longer, so that's why I'm adding the seed beads, and then I'm adding one of these electroplated beads. I really like it. Then followed by a seed bead, just one seed bead. See, this one is moving and it's going on the side, which doesn't look very good. That's only my issue. I'll be back. So these bead spacers also came with this box, so I'm using, sorry, the bead caps, the flower bead caps, so I'm using that bead cap as well. So I figured it out, a different teardrop bead. So if you see this, the hole is on towards one side, so you pick one which the hole is centered, so that way it will align properly. So here we go, 2 more seed beads on top, and I like it, and I don't want it big anymore. So what I'm going to do is take my round nose pliers, keep it on top, bend it to 90 degrees, reposition my pliers, and then go around, and then nicely do at least 2 or 3 wraps until you reach the bead. And once you reach the bead, you can snip off the excess wire, take your pliers and tuck the tail in. There we go. So our first dangle is ready. We need to do 2 more or 3 more dangles, 2 more or 4 more dangles. Okay, one is ready. The next one, so I just don't want to cut it, I just want to do it just like that. See this, you need a little bit more of a loop kind of a thing. So anyways, first a teardrop, then maybe this 4mm crystal, so we have 3 there, so I'm reducing it to 2 here, and then a black bead probably. Okay, and then I will close it up with a spacer bead right here in the bottom, and then a spacer bead, no sorry, bead cap, and then a bead cap on top, and this dangle two more seed beads on top. I don't want any more big of the dangle here, so what I'm going to do is keep my round nose pliers here, bend the wire, take it around, and do a couple of wraps. Once you are satisfied with the wrap, go ahead and snip it off. You will not have much of a tail. Take your pliers and tuck that tail in. Move all the beads down here. I'm gonna snip off about, say, just a little bit, just to make our fold right there. We are going to make this into a U shape. Just bend the wire and make it into a U shape, and then press it a little bit. Oops. Okay, that's what happens when your teardrop beads has a bigger hole. I should have added one seed bead at the end. That would have taken care of it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bead in and make this bend a little bit more of a loop rather than a U. Okay. Don't rush it a lot. Okay, still it's bigger. So I'm gonna make myself one more. Take all the beads down. I'm gonna save these tidbits. I'm not gonna throw away. I'll use it for some other project. Maybe I will cut, say about 2 inches or so, not more than that. Okay, make a loop with my round nose pliers instead of my tweezer nose pliers and making a U. Just make this, because I don't want, see this, I crushed the loop a little bit because I don't want any seed bead in the bottom. I just want the teardrop to hang in there, so that's why. Take the 4mm also, take 2 seed beads or 3 seed beads, then the bead cap. So you can figure out whichever pattern you like. There are so many beads to choose from, this treasure bags to work with. So whichever you like, you can. This is a versatile pattern. There is also white teardrops if you want to. If you want to do a different one, you can do it that way. So here we go. So I'm just going to not add seed beads on the top, and then going to make this dangle. Keep your pliers on top, bend your wire, bring it back, and make a wrap loop. Now snip off the excess tail and tuck your tail in. That means you take your pliers and just push it like this against it. So there we go. Our dangles are ready. I'll make more dangles like this and I will come back. Hi friends, there is a small change of plan. I used the 11 seed beads and made this couple of dangles in a different length. And if I do with the 11 seed beads, the 19 strand wire did not go through twice. I needed to go through twice at certain places. So I shifted my to an 8 seed beads. I didn't have this exact color, so I'm picking up this black. And I think the hues over here in this crystal will match my 8. That's how I matched it. So here I have a strand pre-cut already. So just I will measure it. So it's about, say, 20 inches because it is not going to be a long necklace. So it's going to be a short necklace. So I'm starting with the center dangle. Just going to start with the center dangle right here. Okay. And I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads on either side. Actually 4 on either side. Drop it down. So I have this so far. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add these beads on either side. Okay, and see whether I like the look of it. Okay, so I really like it, so I'm going to continue with this pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up 4 of the 8 of seed beads, 1 of the black 6mm, again 4 of the 8 of seed beads, okay, 1 of this, again 4 of the 8 of seed beads, okay. As I come here, you can also include these bead caps if you want to on all the side of the beads, that you can use it because we have used it here as well. And I'm thinking about this design, so I need it only during this part, so I can still incorporate that seed beads is what I'm thinking. Let's see. So we shall not do this. I want to incorporate this too, not just plain that. So pick up 1 8-0, 1 11-0, 8-0, 11-0, and an 8-0. And before that, I thought the bead cap looks good, so I'm just gonna add the bead cap as well. Why not, right? But it will be a little bit difficult to pass through 2 strands, but I think we can manage. That looks good as well. So I'm going to again pick up 1 8-0, 1 11-0, 1 8-0, 1 11-0, and 1 8-0. Okay, I like this pattern. Then I'll go ahead and add this right here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is the same, 1 8-0, 1 11-0. So I just figure out the pattern as I go. If I don't like it, I change it. I am working with these treasure bags, so I have to work on the spot, and I don't have similar beads in my stash to actually replicate this. I have a vision in my mind, so I'm carrying out that vision. So I really like this instead of this, but in the center part we need this, so I am keeping that there. And then I'm gonna pick up 8-0, 11-0, 8-0, 11-0, and an 8-0. Drop it down. So I will take the next cord. I am not cutting this cord. I am still having it on the spool, but I removed quite a bit. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to insert this here, so that it comes through this and go through everything easily. Anyways, I'm going to put a bead stopper here because I don't want it to come out anyways. So what I'm going to do here is I will move all of these a little bit here so that it's nice and clear for you guys. So I take this wire. Anyways, we have to put the bead cap. Okay, and then go through these beads. I will also put a stopper here because I don't want any bead to go on outside. So I put a stop. I take the other next cord and go through this. See, go through everything, the dangle that we added and all of those. Okay. This way, whenever I will add this project, for example, I come here and then I want to add some beads and go here. So when I go here, I come out of here and I go exactly at this place, but I need to figure this distance out. That's why I inserted the second wire through the entire center beads, this portion, just this portion. And then this is our inner strand wire, this is the outer strand wire. The outer strand wire I just leave it here. When I come back I will do it. So I didn't so if I do one more like this, it will come all the way here. Yeah, over here, which is a little bit long in my opinion. So I just need to refigure this out. So probably 2. And take a bead gap, and I'm adding the bead gap here. Again, a 8-0, 11-0, 8-0, 11-0, okay, 8-0. No, there's 3 here, there is only 1, so that's it, I guess. And then a black bead. So for now my dangle needs to come somewhere. So what I'm going to do here is, I have this here, okay, the next one I'm going to add this. I should have enough of these to add 2 in a row. So again a 8-0, 11-0, and an 8-0, 11-0, and an 8-0. So the pattern can be completely different depending upon how you like it. So I come here. When I come here, I'm gonna add this, okay, and then one of the dangles, the little bit taller one, not the real short one, of the dangle, and then one more of these beads. These elongated faceted bead also came in the box, so yeah, I'm not using something which doesn't belong here. So again we continue the pattern, a 8-0, 11-0, an 8-0, and then 11-0, and an 8-0. So 5 beads, drop it down, a black 6mm, and then a 8-0, 11-0, and an 8-0, and then our bead caps, and then this bead right here, again a bead cap. So then a 8-0, 11-0, and an 8-0 bead, continued by a black 6mm, continued by 8-0, 11-0, and this is a 5 set now. And then this. Okay, so now I'm going to add beads here, and I'm going to come back here and then go through these 3 beads and then go again down. So that's what my thought process is. So I will finish threading the beads and come back. So I have threaded some beads here. In the center we inserted another strand just in the middle, so I just got that here and then added some beads in a pattern and then joined it here and did the same here. And I'm again, my dangles are done. I have only 5 dangles and 2 more for the other side. So I'm just doing this plain and I'm leaving these together over here. Let me do the same thing the other side and explain it to you guys, what pattern of beads I picked up and why I did that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do one more thing. We need a crimp tube. So we shall finish this, and then I will come back and tell you guys how I did arrive at that spot. Okay, I took 2 crimp tubes. I take these 2 wires, put my crimp tube inside, okay, find out which wire is this. So the short wire, I just want to keep it short, we don't need it anymore, right? So I'm just going to keep it short, and then I'm going to crimp it right here. And also before that I need to figure out the distance. So this is going to be a short necklace, right? So from here to all the way here, okay, let's say about everything needs to be nice and tight. So I'm pulling all these together and then measuring this about say 8.5 inches, right? So if we keep it around the neck, so I need a little bit more. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring these also down a little bit more. So here on the innermost strand I'm gonna leave 3 inches, okay, and the outermost strand I'm pulling it as short as it can. So 3 inches here, that means I need to have this here, and then I just crimp the bead at 3 inches point, okay. Now I'm gonna set all these beads over to the side, and then also pull these okay, pull these from section wise so that we have no lag in between. Okay, we shall come back and finish this part later. Now that we have crimped and it is secure, we will think about it later. So from here on, I'll tell you guys how I did add all of these beads and stuff like that, and how I came up with this. So here we have our length of wire. So I'm just going to cut a little bit of the same length. Why? Because we need 3 extra thing. It comes down, so I'm just going to measure the same length of wire and cut it here. It's okay if it's less. We cannot add wire, so that's okay to be more than less. That's what I meant. Now here I'm going to first start with my inner strand. While the inner strand, as we picked up 180, 111, 180, 111, and 180. Okay, and then a black bead, 6 millimeter, and then 180, 11, and 180. Then I'm going to use the bead cap and the electroplated beads. Then again an 80, 11, an 80, and then black 6 millimeter, follow the same pattern. After this, I'm going to pick up this elongated faceted bead, and then I have 2 dangles, one short and one medium. So I'm taking the medium one. We have used the long one here, and this is a medium one. So I'm adding the medium one here. Okay, then again a elongated bead right here. Okay, now I'm gonna take this part, the outermost strand, and pick up a seed bead, an 80, a seed bead, 80, a seed bead. This is what I picked up. So why, when the wire comes from here to here, there is an 80 right next in the inner circle. Let me just zoom in a bit more. There we go. So there is an 80, and right next to it, I don't want an 80 sitting. It will not sit properly. See, there might be still a little bit of wire showing. I am fine with my wire showing. It's so pretty. So I'm fine. If not, you can start with the seed bead on the innermost wire as well. That's why I'm adding it like this. Then I'm picking up this 4 millimeter glass bead. It has that rainbow effect, as you can see, that one. And then again the same pattern, a seed bead, an 8-0, a seed bead, an 8-0, and a seed bead. So 11-0, the 8-0s are less, as you can see. This is what I picked up. And then again I pick up this black bead, which also came in the box. So I'm tying everything together. So that's why I picked up. So in the bottom row, or the outermost layer, I'm using the same number of beads in between. Here I used 3 8-0s in between 2 11-0s, and 2 8-0s, 1 11-0, 2 8-0s, 1 11-0, 3 8-0s, 2 11-0s. Here in the bottom part, in between each bead, I'm using the same number and set of this bead. So I just didn't want to confuse it, so I just kept it that way. It's up to you how depth you want the U to go. It all depends upon that. So after that I pick up this cube beads, which also came in our treasure box, and then (11-0, 8-0, 11-0, 8-0, and 11-0). Then again a black bead, the same pattern. Then a white bead, and then again a same pattern. See this? This is what my every U is going to be this. Okay, and I start with this bead and then go through these 3. So that's why I stopped here. Now I pick up this, go through this crystal, and then our dangle, then the crystal. So when you pull all of this together, this is how it will look like. That's how it looked like here, as you can see. So this is how it's gonna look like here as well. So now I'm going to continue adding beads to the innermost strand and the outermost strand, and continue this pattern in the bottom and this pattern in the top, and I will finish until I add I come to the crimp tube. I will finish until then, and I will come back. So this is the pattern. It's very pretty. I will finish stringing and come back. So I finished stringing all the beads, and I'm happy with how it turned out to be. The only thing is I wish I would have taken more wire. So please cut yourself about, say, 2 feet, not 2 feet, 20 inches of wire. So here we go. So I added all the beads here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the crimp tube and put it on top of these 2 strands right here. I'm going to hold this wire right here and then pull everything so that everything is nice and neat, but at the same time it's not stiff, and I feel it's fine here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and crimp it. There we go. I crimped it. Now we have a little bit of a tail. Let that be. And here we have 3 inches, but here there is hardly 1 inch. So I'm not going to make this necklace any bigger. And I'm going to measure this for you guys from one end to the other end. So it's 12 plus, it's about 16.5 inch. We can add a chain at the back so that we can extend the necklace if we want to. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is add a black bead on top and see if it covers the crimp tube, which it doesn't, so it doesn't matter. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is take another crimp tube, two of them, one for either side. So first I will finish the short side. I will pick up the crimp tube again. Okay, make sure I cut the short tail off because we don't want that anymore. So take your wire cutters and then cut the short tail off. Okay, put another crimp tube right here, and we have our toggle clasp. If you want an extension, we can. I'll just check around my wrist, my neck, and come. Mine is perfect, so I don't need an extender chain. If you want an extender chain, please do connect to an extender chain and then add the toggle clasp. I don't need it, so this is the short end. I add the crimp tube right here, making sure this one is nicely crimped, and take this one right here, add one end of your toggle clasp, come back, as I said, at least take 20 inches of wire for the inner one and then do the same for the outer one as well. Actually not the same, even a little bit more, I would say. Okay, let's see if we make it. There we go. So once you pull this, if you're happy with it, go ahead and crimp it. And snip off this excess wire. Our toggle is attached. There is two crimp tubes right here. You can put a crimp cover, big crimp cover over here. That might also solve the problem. And let's just take care of this end as well. This end we have enough wire to work with, so it's not a problem. I will cut the short tail off first and then take the crimp tube here, take the other end of the toggle, come back through the crimp tube, pull the wire as close as possible and check everything, and then go ahead and crimp it. I am crimping it with just flat nose or tweezer nose pliers. You can do a beaded crimp, like you can crimp it with crimping pliers for some reason these crimps work well with flat crimps and not with the crimping pliers. And so this is leftover wire. If the leftover wire is 3 inches or above, you need to save, but this one you don't have to save. So this is less than 3 inch. So this is our necklace. It's done. And as I said, please put a crimp cover. I need to snip off this excess tail. There's a little bit of a short tail which is showing and it might poke. So I'm just going to take care of that. I need a proper new wire cutters. It's become blunt. So here we go. Our necklace is done. I really like it. It's like a ancient style, vintage style necklace. I hope you guys like it too. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos a couple of times a week. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day. I will leave down in the description box below the bag that you can get these items with. It's GGC treasure bags. It's a 4th edition, and also she has a lot of these beads in her website as well. If you want to check it out, you can go ahead and check it out. Bye.